butter. It is widely considered the last bastion of purity in the British kitchen. Just cream and salt, churned until golden. Yet eagle-eyed shoppers are exposing a widespread formulation change, where dairy fat is being aggressively swapped out for a cheap, inflammatory filler.
Have they made this Kerrygold spreadable? When you look at it, it's 50% seed oils, it's got emulsifiers, some other shit with it.
That is the promise printed on the foil. But behind the bucolic imagery of rolling green hills and heritage branding lies chemical contamination, industrial negligence, and calculated fraud. Here at Brit Food Watch, we have peeled back the wrappers to expose the specific UK brands hiding the darkest secrets. The investigation has uncovered a disturbing reality. Some trusted brands are using the British public as unwitting test subjects for experimental methane-suppressing cattle drugs. Others have been forced to recall thousands of tons due to contamination with jagged plastic shards. We have categorized the 7 worst offenders based on toxicity, hygiene failures, and ingredient dilution. Check your fridge immediately. These are the 7 UK butter brands you must avoid. Government regulators issued an immediate recall. The danger is choking hazards hidden in the fat. Anchor markets itself on a legacy of wholesome grass-fed purity, but the forensic reality is a factory nightmare. In early 2024 and into 2025, a severe contamination incident shattered consumer trust. Machinery failure on the production line resulted in pieces of hard, jagged industrial plastic entering the butter blocks. These are not minor specks of dust, they are potential internal injury hazards. You are not just spreading butter on your crumpet, you are potentially spreading industrial debris. The recall for the unsalted variety was a desperate attempt to scrub the mistake from history, but for many it was too late. The machinery broke, and rather than halting the line, the product was shipped out. That is the level of quality control protecting your family. But the physical danger is only half the scandal. The chemical and ethical profile of Anchor is equally toxic. The brand leans heavily on its New Zealand heritage to justify a premium price point, yet for the UK market, production has shifted. You are paying import prices for a product often churned out in domestic facilities, leading to a noticeable degradation in taste that long-time buyers describe as waxy and artificial. It is a ghost brand, wearing the skin of its former reputation, while the substance inside has withered. Dig deeper into the parent company Fonterra, and the natural facade collapses entirely. The Greenpeace lawsuit exposes the dirty secret of modern dairy. While the packaging screams free range, the feed troughs tell a different story. Fonterra has been heavily implicated in the use of palm kernel expeller, also called PKE. This is a gritty byproduct of the palm oil industry, the very industry responsible for torching the habitats of orangutans in Southeast Asia. When you buy this butter, you are effectively subsidizing the destruction of the rainforest. The cows are not just grazing on pristine clover, they are being bulked up on industrial waste products shipped halfway across the world. It is a supply chain of devastation wrapped in gold foil. The betrayal is total. The physical product contains plastic shards, and the production method contains ecological poison. You buy it for New Zealand purity, but you get factory shrapnel and a direct financial link to deforestation. If you are paying a premium price for the nation's favourite butter, why are you serving as an unwitting test subject for a climate change chemical experiment? Lurpak has long been the gold standard of British breakfast tables. But in late 2024, the brand crossed a line that has turned loyal customers into unwitting test subjects. While you were distracted by the cost of living crisis, Lurpak's parent company Arla Foods quietly carried out what many call a shrinkflation betrayal, an act that feels like theft. The standard 250-gram block you have bought for decades was reduced to 200 grams. The 500-gram spreadable tub was reduced to 400 grams. They did not lower the price, they simply lowered the amount of food you get, banking on the fact that you would not notice the missing 20% until you got home. But if the financial deception angers you, the chemical deception should terrify you. In December 2024, Arla launched a controversial trial across 30 UK farms involving a methane-suppressing feed additive called Bovaer. The active ingredient is 3-nitrooxypropanol. This is a synthetic compound designed to chemically alter the digestive enzymes in a cow's stomach to stop them burping methane. Critics and concerned consumers have flooded social media, calling it poison entering the food chain. While Arla insists it is safe, the optics are dystopian. A massive corporate experiment modifying the biology of the animals that produce your milk, all to meet carbon targets. You are paying a premium price to be a participant in a climate change chemistry trial. The question is not just, is it safe right now? The question is, what are the long-term effects of consuming dairy from animals raised on synthetic enzyme inhibitors? They treat the cows like machines to be tweaked, and they treat you like a guinea pig to fund it. Kerrygold. The gold foil promises pure Irish grass-fed naturalism, but a forensic toxicology report revealed the wrapper is a delivery system for forever chemicals linked to cancer. Kerrygold is the sacred cow of the dairy aisle. Shoppers happily pay a premium for that gold foil brick, believing they are buying a product untouched by the industrial grime of modern food processing. You buy it because you want grass-fed naturalism, not chemical engineering. For years, that iconic gold packaging was hiding a secret that has now exploded into legal action. We are talking about PFAS, which stands for per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. You might know them by their more terrifying nickname, forever chemicals. These are not food ingredients, they are industrial agents used in jet fuel, non-stick cookware, and firefighting foam. Yet forensic testing revealed that the foil wrapper encasing your pure butter contained these very substances. The purpose was to make the paper grease resistant. The cost was your health. These chemicals do not break down. Once they enter your body, potentially leaching from the wrapper into the fat of the butter itself, they stay there, accumulating in your blood and organs. They are linked to hormone disruption, immune system suppression, and an increased risk of kidney and testicular cancer. This is toxic and persistent. The betrayal here is absolute. You paid extra for Kerrygold to avoid toxins, yet the very vessel it came in was toxic. While the brand has since scrambled to reformulate its packaging after a massive outcry and regulatory pressure in the United States, the damage to trust is permanent. For months, while regulators in New York and California were moving to ban these wrappers, British consumers were left in the dark, slathering this potential chemical cocktail onto their morning toast. It is a stark lesson in how deep the deception goes. You scan the ingredients list for preservatives and additives, but you never thought to check the wrapper. This was not just butter, it was a Trojan horse for one of the most persistent environmental toxins known to science. If a company is willing to wrap its flagship of purity in a blanket of forever chemicals just to keep the paper looking neat, what else are they compromising on? You need to ask yourself, is the gold foil a mark of quality, or just a shiny distraction from the poison inside? Number 4. Waitrose Essential Salted Dairy Butter. Dirty fragments of blue industrial cleaning cloth woven into the dairy block. That is the contamination inspectors found inside this premium supermarket staple. If you shop at Waitrose, you are buying into a promise. You pay for the assurance that your food is held to a higher standard than the budget supermarkets. You expect rigorous quality control, pristine factories, and absolute safety. That illusion was shattered in April 2024 when the Food Standards Agency issued an urgent "Do Not Eat" warning for Waitrose essential salted dairy butter. This was not a minor labeling error or a wrong date. This was physical contamination. Blocks of this butter, specifically the 500-gram units, were recalled because they contained pieces of blue cloth. In a food factory, blue cloth is not a napkin. It is heavy-duty, industrial cleaning material, often soaked in potent sanitizers or used to wipe down grease-laden machinery. When shards of this material end up inside the butter, it signifies a catastrophic failure on the production line. It means the machinery is degrading, or the cleaning protocols are so lax that rags are falling into the mixing vats and being churned into the product. The Food Standards Agency did not mince words. They declared it unsafe to eat. Yet this product sat on shelves, marketed as an essential daily item for British families. You might have melted it over your vegetables or baked it into a birthday cake, completely unaware that you were feeding your family industrial waste. The horror of this recall is in the violation of the premium contract. We tolerate this sort of chaos from bargain bin brands, but from Waitrose, it proves that behind the high-end branding and the polite staff, the factory reality is just as dirty and chaotic as anywhere else. Foreign body contamination is the ultimate sign of a factory that has lost control. If a piece of bright blue cloth can make it through the mixers, the moulders, the metal detectors, and the visual inspections, what other invisible contaminants are slipping through? Bacteria, microplastics, machine oil. When you buy this brand, you are not just buying butter, you are playing Russian roulette with the factory cleaning cupboard. Check your fridge. If you have this block, do not open it. Bin it. St. Helens Farm goat butter. The Food Standards Agency ordered that it be destroyed immediately. The reason was sharp metal fragments hidden inside the block. You pay a significantly higher price for what you believe is a safer, gentler alternative. You trust the farm label to imply a smaller, more caring scale of production. That trust was violently betrayed in December 2021 when a catastrophic production failure sent shockwaves through the industry. This was not a single bad batch in a corner shop. It was a systemic manufacturing collapse that forced a recall across every major British retailer. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, and Morrison's all stripped their shelves. The official risk assessment was blunt. The product contained small pieces of metal. Just imagine spreading this on a piece of toast for a child with a sensitive stomach, unknowingly feeding them industrial shrapnel. A product designed to be digestible became a physical threat to the digestive tract. The metal shards were only the final chapter in a story of negligence. If you think the farm in the name guarantees ethical treatment, look at the footage released in 2020. Undercover investigations at a supplier farm for this brand revealed horrific animal abuse. Goats were filmed being punched, kicked, and slammed around by staff. St. Helens suspended the supplier, but the pattern is undeniable. From ethical cruelty to physical contamination, the brand represents a total failure of care. The disconnect between pastoral, wholesome branding and jagged reality is stark. You are buying a vision of rolling hills and happy goats, but the reality has included brutality in the barn and metal in the butter dish. It is the ultimate factory nightmare. When a company cannot keep its workers from abusing animals, it is hardly surprising that they cannot keep machine parts out of the food. If you have this in your fridge, you are trusting a brand that has failed on both safety and morality. Number 6. Willow butter. 70% vegetable oil and water. That is the massive dilution ratio hidden inside a package designed to fool you into thinking it is butter. Willow is the dairy aisle's greatest imposter. This is a Trojan horse product, engineered specifically to deceive the rushing shopper. You see the gold foil wrapping. You see the bucolic name Willow written in a traditional font, and you instinctively grab it, assuming it is a block of standard churned cream. But look at the small print, because you have been tricked. This is not butter. It is a spread, a highly engineered chemical matrix designed to mimic the texture of dairy while containing almost none of it. Willow is a concoction of 70% vegetable oils, primarily palm oil and rapeseed oil, mixed with water and a token splash of buttermilk just to fake the flavor profile. You are not eating a natural fat. You are eating an emulsified grease block held together by mono and diglycerides of fatty acids. This is the definition of ultra-processed food. It relies on chemical colorings to turn the greyish oil blend into that familiar butter yellow. The betrayal here is the dilution ratio. You are paying for water and cheap inflammatory seed oils masquerading as a premium dairy product. Critics and ethical food guides have flagged this product not just for its deception, but for its genetic risk. The heavy reliance on imported vegetable oils and industrial animal feed for the buttermilk fraction introduces a high risk of genetically modified organisms entering your diet. This represents everything a health-conscious consumer is trying to avoid. You think you are buying a simple, traditional ingredient, but you are actually bringing home a block of solidified palm oil linked to deforestation and heavily processed additives. It is a culinary fraud wrapped in gold. Do not let the packaging fool you. If you value your health, leave this hybrid threat on the shelf where it belongs. It is not food, it is edible chemistry. Number 7. Clover. The packaging suggests a churned dairy staple. The ingredient list reveals a grey matrix of industrial oil that has a history of harbouring blue mould. Clover is the ultimate deception of the British dairy aisle. It is the number one brand you must avoid because it represents the perfect storm of toxic composition and factory negligence. Let us start with the factory nightmare. This brand never fully shook the legacy of its catastrophic 2007 recall. We are not talking about a few isolated cases. Dairy Crest was forced to withdraw 2 million tubs from shelves after a production fault allowed mould to grow inside sealed containers. Consumers were opening their fresh spread to find it reeked of blue cheese. The company admitted that penicillium mould, the kind used in Stilton, had contaminated the line. It was a failure of hygiene on a massive scale, proving that even the biggest brands can turn your fridge into a petri dish. But the real scandal is not what accidentally goes into Clover, it is what deliberately goes into it. This is the hybrid threat at its worst. Clover conditions you to believe you are eating butter with its golden packaging and churned imagery. But look at the label. It is a spread, not butter. Forensic analysis reveals the bio-sludge reality. The standard version contains as little as 20% buttermilk. So what is the other 80%? It is a grey industrial matrix of water, palm oil and rapeseed oil, chemically dyed with carotenes to fake the colour of dairy. It is legally classified as an ultra-processed food. To make this oil-water emulsion stable at room temperature, it relies on industrial processing and natural flavourings to trick your palate. You are not eating a product of the farm, you are eating a product of the lab. It is a tub of inflammatory seed oils masquerading as a wholesome staple. The betrayal is total. They took a simple 2-ingredient food, cream and salt, and replaced it with a 14-ingredient chemical imitation that has a history of mold contamination. If you have this in your fridge, you are eating the illusion of food. Did you have any idea that your fridge staples were hiding such dirty secrets? From plastic shrapnel in the butter dish to forever chemicals in the wrappers, the dairy aisle is clearly not as innocent as the adverts pretend. Now, I need to ask you, knowing what you know now about the number one spot, will you ever buy that brand again? Or are you clearing out your pantry as we speak? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear which brands have betrayed your trust. Subscribe to Brit Food Watch and hit the notification bell, because the industry does not want you to know the truth. But we are going to tell you anyway. Stay vigilant.